Hi everyone, welcome to my channel LiveLoveCrochet. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a super cute crop top. Now you may have watched my previous tutorial on how to crochet bra cups. We will be needing 2 of those for today's tutorial. If you haven't seen it, click on the link in my description box and join me back here once you have your bra cups ready. Now there is a little bit of maths involved in today's tutorial, but it will be very simple once you know how to do it. So let's get started with our tutorial. So the first thing you're going to do is measure yourself underneath your breasts around your body. So mine is 29 inches. We are then going to measure our cup along the bottom here. So mine are 12.5 inches. So we need to subtract that 12.5 from 29. So it's going to be 29 minus 12.5. Which is 16.5. We then need to divide 16.5 by 2, which is going to be 8.25, so 8 1/4. So I'm going to round that off to 8. And then we need to take 2.5 from that 8, which will be 5.5. So now we know our measurements for our side. So this side and this side. So I'm going to chain until I get to that 5.5. So I have a slip knot, I'm going to pop that on my hook and I'm going to start chaining. So also I want to say this pattern is a multiple of 6 plus 3. So I'm going to aim to get a multiple of 6 on my chain. So I have 5.5. I have 24 chains. So divide that by 6 is going to be 4. So we are now going to be slip stitching into our cup. So I'm going to slip stitch right here into the corner, into my very first space. So I'm going to insert my hook and make a slip stitch. Going to slip stitch all along until I get to the end. So I'm going to slip stitch into every available place because there are no stitches here. So you just got to space them out evenly. So keep going until you come to the end. So I have reached the end. I'm now going to chain 2. Everybody needs to chain 2. we need to get our other cup, and we are going to slip stitch into the corner here, into the very first space. Going to put your hook in, and you are going to make a slip stitch. Just like that. So continue making slip stitches into every available space nice and evenly. So keep going, and I will meet you back here. I have come to the end, so now I'm going to be making my chain for the other side. So chain one more and turn your work. So before we start our next row, we're going to count our chain and our slip stitches because we need a multiple of 6 plus 3. So count all the way down. Don't forget your chain 2 in the middle, all the way to the other side. You might need to put in some increases or decreases, so I suggest that you put them in the cups here rather than on the chain. So I have already counted mine and I have 99, which means I have my multiple of 6 plus 3. So I am now going to begin my single crochets. So I'm going to skip the first chain and go into the second chain with the single crochet, and then I'm going to keep single crocheting down. I'm not going to forget my chain 2 in the middle. I'm just going to single crochet into those. So keep going. All along until you get to the end of this chain. I have made my single crochets, so yours should be looking like this. So we are now going to begin making the pattern. So we are going to start off by turning our work. We're going to chain 1. This isn't going to count as a single crochet in this row or throughout. So single crochet into the very first stitch here, and single crochet into the next. We then need to skip 2 chains and go into the next with 7 double crochets. So 1, 2 into the next, 7 double crochets into that same stitch. So just like that, we need to skip 2 and go into the next with a single crochet. skip the next 2 and go into the next with 7 double crochets. Skip the next 2 and into the next a single crochet, and keep going all the way along. So keep going, and I will meet you back here to show you how to finish. So I'm at the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip the next 2, go into the third with a single crochet. We will then finish up with a single crochet into the last stitch. And there is your first row complete. So turn your work over. So chain 3. This chain 3 is going to count as our double crochet in this row and throughout the rest of the pattern. So skip the first stitch and go into the next with a double crochet. Chain 3. We're going to skip the next 3 stitches and go into the fourth with a single crochet. So single crochet, chain 3. We will then skip the next 3 stitches and go into the fourth with a double crochet. Chain 3. Skip the next 3 stitches, go into the fourth with a single crochet, chain 3, skip 3 and go into the fourth with a double crochet. So keep going. So that's what it looks like. I will meet you at the end here to show you how to finish up. So I'm at the end, I've chained my 3. I'm going to put my double crochet in as normal. And to finish up, I'm going to put a double crochet into the last stitch. I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to chain 1, doesn't count as our single crochet. So go into the first stitch with a single crochet, into the second stitch with a single crochet. We're going to skip over our chain 3 space, and into this single crochet here, we're going to put 7 double crochets. So just like that. So skip over the next chain 3 and into that double crochet make a single crochet. Skip over the chain 3 and into that single crochet make 7 double crochets. So you are going to keep going until you reach the end. When you get to the end, you're going to single crochet into the last stitch and then into the top of this chain here. So you've got your chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. We're going to single crochet into the top of that chain. So you're going to keep going with the pattern, repeating row 2 and row 3. So you can have this crop top at any length you like. I'm going to do mine exactly the same as I did my other one. So that is 4 shells. So keep going and I will meet you back here when we have our length. So I have my length done. I have 4 shells altogether. So now I'm going to chain 1 and cut my yarn. So we're going to put our stitch markers in down here. They're going to be for when we put our chain through. So we've got a little bit of a space to get that chain through rather than just squeezing it through a single crochet. So put your stitch markers in. We're going to put 3 in each side. So we're going to attempt to put the stitch markers in both sides equally, so they're both going to be matching or near enough matching. It doesn't have to be exact, but roughly. So I'm putting 1 in the bottom now. Going to match the other side. And then I'm going to put 1 in the middle either side. So I'm just going to put mine here. And then my last one into the other side. So we are ready now to do our single crochets. So get your yarn with a slip knot on. So we're going to start with the left hand side. We're going to put our hook into the bottom space here. Put your yarn onto your hook, pull through, chain 1, put single crochet into that space, and as you can see we're about to bump into our stitch marker. So what we're going to do is chain 1, we're going to skip over the space that the stitch marker's in and we're going to single crochet into the next space. So just like that. And then as you can see you've got a little space to get your chain in. So keep going until you come to your next stitch marker. So chain 1, go over that space and into the next space with a single crochet. Keep going until your next stitch marker. chain 1, and for me I have one more space left, so I'm going single crochet into that space. I'm going to chain 1 and cut my yarn. So now we have 3 holes to put our chain through. So we're going to repeat this process on the other side, and I will meet you back here when you are finished. We should now have both sides done. So the chain is going to go through all of our holes, zigzagged, and come down a little bit. So with the chain, I'm not going to count it. I'm just going to measure as I go. So I will continue chaining and meet you back here when I have done. So I have my length. This is how our chain is going to go through the holes. We are now going to slip stitch down our chain. So skip your first chain and go into the second. We're going to make a slip stitch. Into the next, a slip stitch. And keep slip stitching until you get to the end. I have slip stitched down my chain. So now I'm going to chain 1 and cut my yarn. So now we're going to start inserting it into the holes that we've made. So I'm just going to remove my first stitch marker. I'm going to be starting with this side. Now for the chain, you can either just put it through the hole yourself, or you can use a hook and pull it through. I'm just going to be putting it through the hole because I find it easier. So we're going to pull that through. And I'm going to take this stitch marker out, and then I'm going to put my other end through the other hole. So I'm going to pull it through. I'm going to make sure they're the same size. I'm then going to thread the rest of my chain through my remaining holes. So I have put all of my chain through. and at the bottom we just tie it and then let the rest of it hang. So now we're going to move on to the straps at the top. So get your yarn and make a slip knot. We're going to be putting our hook through this top stitch here. Put your yarn on your hook and begin chaining. So for this one I am going to count so I can get the other side the same. So how you're going to measure this is just by how it feels comfortable on your neck. Don't forget you've got to tie it. So keep going. Do the other side. I'm going to sew my tails also, and I'm going to meet you back here when I have finished that. So I have now finished. I've done my straps and I've sewn in my tails. So that means now that our crop top is now complete. So this is what yours should look like. So I hope you have found this tutorial useful. I hope you've had fun making this crop top. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So that is it for today's tutorial. I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye!